Drogheda have said that they will cover the full cost of pitch repair at Oriel Park. They said they've sanctioned a number of fans for negative behaviour. Shocking scenes last week, as you all remember. Not only the damage to the pitch, but a young fan being injured in it. And then it all just kicked off, Brian. We had the Minister coming out strongly on the radio, looking for action to be taken. Much discussion, threat of funding for League of Ireland clubs, pitches being suspended. And then last night, the disciplinary committee of the FAI, 15,000 fine to Drogheda, banning of its supporters from the next 4 away fixtures and any fixtures in Oriel Park for the remainder of the season, and the introduction of mandatory CCTV from next season, enhanced detection measures for flares, refusal of entry, stadium bans, etc., etc. Is that an appropriate sort of conclusion to the whole thing? What have you made of the events of the last week on that front?
Well, the first thing I'd say is that what happened was very disgraceful behaviour from the Drogheda fans. It looked like it was deliberately coordinated to do damage to the pitch. But my view is, and it always has been, that teams in the Premier Division League of Ireland shouldn't be playing on an all-weather surface, no matter how good it is. It's obviously a new surface. Dundalk replaced the old surface, which is dreadful for many, many years, with rubber flying everywhere into people's hair and their eyes and their boots and their gear. It wasn't good enough. They shouldn't be allowed. The best grass growing conditions in the world. Why we should be playing all-weather pitches in our Premier Division is ridiculous, my point of view.
Academies use it, community teams and groups can use it for you. It can be a real help for the
it's
community.
a money raising, but there are 2 other pitches in Dundalk very close, behind the stand on the far side of the ground. There's another pitch behind the goal at the end where the away supporters are. They could have been developed. They don't need to have fancy stands to use those pitches and generate the money that comes from them. That's the first thing. I'm not excusing what happened with Drogheda. I think my view of what happened is the outcome in terms of Drogheda saying they'll pay for the damage and the pitch is going to get fixed, and the reaction of the clubs in terms of finding Drogheda. That's fair enough. Money is scarce in League of Ireland clubs. The club deserve to be punished, but I'm not sure the punishment fits the crime, in that they're denying the away clubs, where Drogheda supporters would be going to, the income that they should get from Drogheda's away support coming to the ground. The punishment for Drogheda should have been a punishment at their own ground, where they would lose money if there was, say, for instance, areas in the ground closed down or limits on the attendances. The other thing I'd say about the Minister's reaction was a total overreaction. He was at the match. I wouldn't say he was at many League of Ireland matches before, but he was tweeting before the game how brilliant the atmosphere was, and photographs of some of the smoke and flares from the other side of the pitch before the game. But then the pitch had turned, and he came out in a very heavy-handed manner after the match, throwing the head completely, calling it complete thuggery, and then deciding that he's going to pull the plug on any money intended for development of grounds at other clubs around the country. I don't think that would happen if either of that type of incident had happened in rugby or in GAA. I have no doubts that he wouldn't have reacted in that way. I think that the Minister has a bee in his bonnet a little bit. I know he's already said he's going to give 3 million towards the academies. It's not actually his money. I mean, last week he spoke about it as if it was his own money, that he wasn't given any money for the repairs. It's not his own money, it's the state's money. And the people love football in this country. The League of Ireland is a highly attended participation of numbers attend the games week in, week out. Now, it's the biggest participation sport in the country, and it's been usually underfunded by government, Sport Ireland and any of the authorities around the country for many, many years. Now there's a little bit of income coming in, and the councils are taking responsibility for helping the clubs to develop the grounds, which needs to be done. But I'm glad to see that the Minister has pulled back from punishing all the clubs around the country who are due money towards all-weather pitches, which I hope are not for all-weather pitches for the first teams to play on. But from the point of view of training and underage teams, all that part of the game, we need those facilities without any doubt. But he shouldn't have overreacted in the way that even politicians from his own party were having a bit of a go, saying that was an overreaction. Okay. And it was.
Well, to be fair to him, I'm not sure he would reject that he would have treated GA and rugby
Well, that's a
differently.
personal opinion.
That's an opinion?
But it's an opinion of a lot of people around football. I would think sport in general.
For all that, Ian, Brian may be right, maybe it was an extreme approach. Did it not get the right result in the sense that, is it a positive thing that flares, pyrotechnics it looks like they're going to be a thing of the past? Some people quite like them, quite like the atmosphere they provide, but does it make League of Ireland grounds safer places to go?
Yeah, I think health and safety is obviously paramount. If you take it back and the nights you see with the flares going off and how it adds to the atmosphere, like, that's been brilliant. It's been brilliant for a long time. The way the Drogheda fans carried on pushed it way to the extreme, and it's ended up going right to the other way, where now the punishment's going to be huge on any clubs that do it. But I agree with Brian on in terms of the away fans going to away grounds. That limits the home clubs in terms of the revenue they're going to bring in, which is hugely important to clubs around the country. You're just hoping now that the clubs, the home clubs in them fixtures, they can pack their stands out with their own fans, their home fans, create a huge, big home atmosphere, and that they're not missing out on too much. But for me, I agree, it should have been their home grounds the home ground that's affected.